The representative of the Governor, Bapak Jaya, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, representing their countries and citizens, families. October 12 is now a sacred day for Australia, Indonesia, and for other countries who lost their sons and daughters 4 years ago. This is a day on which we honour the memory of those 202 innocent victims who tragically lost their lives, and also we remember the many who were injured. Good morning and welcome. I acknowledge the representative of the Governor, the Ambassador of New Zealand, the Ambassador of Poland, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, families, innocent people from Indonesia and from the near and far corners of the earth, from Australia, Brazil, Britain, Canada, Denmark, Ecuador, France, Germany, Greece, Italy, Japan, Korea, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Poland, Portugal, South Africa, Sweden, Switzerland, Taiwan, the United States of America. We gather to extend condolences to the families and loved ones of those who died, and to express our sorrowful recognition of the devastating effects on the lives of so many others. We gather to mourn, but many of us also here today will be remembering the lives and the stories of each person affected by these attacks. As we do so, let us find comfort and support together. Let us also find strength and determination. Indonesia has suffered shocking attacks on its soil, here in Bali in 2002 and 2005, the bombing of the Marriott Hotel in Jakarta in 2003, the bombing attack on the Australian Embassy in 2004, and elsewhere. These were attacks on a great nation, a growing democracy, our friend, our neighbour. But be assured that Australia remains by Indonesia's side, determined to fight terrorism. Other countries represented here today have also suffered with Indonesia and stand with Indonesia. We will not allow terrorists to spread disorder and dismay, to drive people, faiths and neighbours apart, to attack the aspirations of Indonesians for a democratic and prosperous future. They have failed. They have failed utterly, and they will not succeed. Countries represented here today have shown that we are imbued with great hope and purpose. hope and purpose for a secure and prosperous future for our nations and for our region, as well as for greater friendship and understanding among different faiths. Cooperation between our enforcement agencies has helped to secure the arrest, the trial and the conviction of more than 40 people in relation to the Bali bombings. Other trials are continuing around the country. Our police forces are continuing to work together to track down other terrorists and ensure that they are brought to justice. Today we thank the many people who in their professional and private capacities came to the urgent aid of victims of the attacks in Bali. Medical staff, emergency authorities, civil servants, many others who were simply going about their business when the attacks took place. Much of that work goes on as we try to help people rebuild shattered lives and shattered bodies. As we work for healing in our personal lives, we also work together for a future where people need no longer go through what so many here today have endured. The Prime Minister of Australia, the Honourable John Howard, has asked me to read at this ceremony today the following remarks by him. The 12th of October 2002 was a day of unmitigated tragedy for the victims, the families and the friends of those killed and injured in the indiscriminate attack. The sense of injustice and anger felt by the victims and their loved ones will never subside. On behalf of the Australian Government and people, I again offer them my deepest sympathies and heartfelt condolences. Our thoughts and prayers are also with the people of Indonesia and the many other nations affected by the attack. Please. The events of 12 October 2002 were a terrible reminder that there are those who violently oppose our way of life. They also reminded us.
But nothing has had more impact on this island than the senseless attack that occurred on October the 12th, 2002. I need not recount this event in more detail because I'm sure each and every one of us here remembers all too well what happened on that fateful night and how it's affected all of our lives. Since the events of October 2002, like the perpetrators are shadows without shape or form and can infiltrate any community at any time. Bali is no longer a jewel apart. The lives that we lost on October the 12th, our mothers, fathers, sons, daughters, sisters, brothers, husbands, wives, and dear and close friends. Each and every one of them never to be forgotten. I would like to extend this opportunity in
memory of the 202 innocent victims, let us please observe a minute of silence.
Queensland. Billy was part of the Southport Aussie Rules football club. So 9 of those footballers came over and only 8 went back.
Maureen Crowell. This is Maureen Trowell, who is a survivor of the bombing.
Victoria.
Okay. Yeah, I think go for it.
I might start then with Spike, but can I just ask you, Spike, just being here again today, how are you feeling?
Very emotional, very emotional. I never made it last year because of the opening of the one in Melbourne last year. But even though I got it started and I got it going, and it wasn't the same as I missed being here so much. It's not funny, so I couldn't miss it again, and I don't think I ever will again. And it's very emotional for all of us and all the other family in there as well. You know, we've lost our kids. Maureen was injured in it. She's better, and I'm very happy for her and for her family.
Despite 4 years on us, do you feel any sense of relief at all or not?
No, you don't feel it. During the year, put it this way, tomorrow I'll feel a little bit better. But the build up in the last 3 weeks or 2 or 3 weeks, it just gets so much, and you just, comes to the day where where that young fella said about his dad, you know.
Have you had any luck in any sort of finding what's happened to him or anything like that?
I'm sorry?
Have you had any luck on your son at all?
No.
No.
No, it's just, you know he's gone. He's up in the big sky, you know. He's up there waiting for me to get up there so we can have a beer together, and it's, we'll all be up there with him, won't we?
See you later.
The big pub up in the sky, and something we're waiting forward to doing for sure.
Mr. Hardy, sorry. Why is it so important to have all of you?
Because this is where it happened. I love Bali. I just love Bali. I've been coming here since '91, and it's just, I don't know, I just have to be here for him. When I was sick once, he flew in from another state, and he just hung around until I got better. So, how could I sort of just leave him here by himself? It's the way I look at it anyway. Even though he's with his brother now, and some bad news, he's now with his granny as well. She just died last night, so now the boys come and took her out of her pain.
Mr. Hardy, can I just ask you how you're feeling today and why it's important to come back here?
Well, I feel this is where my son left us, and I really have to come back because a part of him is still here. I mean, he was my hero, and when I got the phone call to say your son's missing, it was just the most devastating thing in the world for myself, his sister, his family, his mother. And I just feel that there's a part of him here, and it's just so important for me to come back. And as I said to Spike this morning, I'll come back as long as I can, because also in the back of my mind, if I don't come back, it'll mean that me as an Australian has been defeated by the heathens that committed this act. and that ain't going to happen. So I'll come back as long as I can stand, and I'm sure most Australians would feel exactly the same. I particularly don't want to reference any terrorists because they're just inhumane. I mean, I really don't want to talk about them. I don't even read the articles anymore because they're just animals as far as I'm concerned. I haven't lost the anger. This was an innocent boy and all the victims were innocent victims, wonderful, lovely people. And it's just an inhumane act to take them from the planet, and these people shouldn't be on the face of the planet. So I don't want to talk about it.
Can I just ask you, you were injured. Is this the first time you've come back to Bali?
No, I've been back every year.
What's it like for you to come back sort of as someone who...
You have to come back and think of the people that you knew that actually died, and the ones you didn't. Remember they're happy and free now. The bombers might have got them, but they're in heaven. They're
In a big pub in the sky.
In a big pub in the sky.
They're still having a dance and a beer and everything. So,
How do you feel about the terrorists, Lorraine?
The same as all Australians. Just wish they were wiped off the face of the earth. Every terrorist there is.
yeah, the quicker they shoot these three, the better off I think we'll all be. Yeah, true.
Would you feel something
Let them
relief?
appeal all they want, but it's not. If they get out, they're going to do it again without even blinking, and they'll kill their own Muslim friends and mothers and fathers. They don't care. They just haven't got no brains at all. They are the